Right, guys, this is another one of them projects for the sister-in-law, and I'm just going in and I'm going to use a single piece of 4x2 for this. So every bit of the wood that's cut from it is a 4x2. Watch to the end because I don't use any screws with this. This is a project where I'm practicing this sort of dados, half flat joints, whatever you want to call them. So I'm just going through the table saw here, just ripping this down, this 4x2. Making light work of it. Somebody was coming out the door there, the side door, and they've seen me that I'm doing filming and legged it. They don't want to be on camera. So yeah, this was on the list. Shelley's sister, you know, the big long list I told you all about. When they come round, I'm hiding next time. So I'm just changing the blade out here for a flat grind or flat tooth tipped blade. We ain't got a dado stack here, so we can get these blades with flat grinds. I've got a 6mm one, but I need to make a plate for that, which is it's a smaller blade, which will do for box joints, that kind of stuff. But this blade here is slightly thicker with a flat grind, so it'll just make the dados, the grooves, nice and neat. So I'm going straight in with the marking out, and I'm using the wood itself to mark. Great tip I picked up from one of the viewers. Rather than measuring it all with rulers and millimeters and all this, use the wood itself. So the weather's getting really nice here now. Spring is sprung, and it makes you feel better. I've been watching some amazing people on YouTube. I've been watching I forget the name of it, and it was a chair maker. And honestly, the skill it goes into some of these guys that make stuff, and you think, oh well, you know, you wonder why they charge so much money, and then you look at the craftsmanship that goes into some stuff, and it you know, it makes you appreciate these people and their skill. And hopefully one day, if I'm sort of half as good as any of them guys, I'll be well pleased. Long way to go before then, but honestly, that's what I sort of aspire to. Even though I'm getting on in age, and you see some of these people, what they make, it just blows my mind what you can do with wood. So I'm just going through it nice and slow there, just cutting sort of dados in. What do you call them? Dados, half like, and I'm just creeping up on the joint. Another thing I've learned to do, rather than cut the joint, just sort of take my time and creep up on it. You know, it only takes you a few minutes more to do it, but at least you know the joint's going to be right. Now, this project at the end, some of the joints are not perfect, you know, none of them, but it all stays together really well with the glue and everything. So, and it was acceptable. Let's put it this way, it'll never come apart unless it's bashed with an hammer or something like that. So here's where I'm just trying everything. So that was alright. That joint's alright as well, once it's pushed in correctly. There you go. So that's what I was after. And then with the glue, it's going to go nowhere. So again, more marking out. And then just cutting, always mindful of safety and watching your fingers. I'm going to have to build a bigger sled, I think. Something slightly bigger. So I've been sort of getting into my hand tools a bit more, and when I was cutting the dados, even though it was a flat grind blade, it was still leaving a few marks at the bottom. So I just went in with this, give me a nice bit of practice to use this router plane. You've probably seen it on one of my other videos where I was talking about it, the Undewey router plane. Fantastic. I really enjoyed using it as well. So that is nice, a nice, really tight joint there. Really happy with that joint. So I'll go on and I'll do the second one now. You know, there's a learning curve to it. This is sort of the beginning of the learning curve for me with this. And if you just go in from sideways on like that and slide it sideways, it worked better. So everything gets another sand. 180 grit is the finished sandpaper I use on this. To be honest, it's all the sandpaper I used was just 180 grit. I didn't have to go over it with a 120 grit or anything like that. Just straight off with a 180 grit. Just getting the sharp edges off, any loose bits of wood as well. So again, I just run over the sort of grooves. You know, these are kind of little details I would never have done in the past. So, and I'm just taking that little bit of extra time and care and attention to do it right. Now here's her indoors, Shelley, with the medium oak stain. And she applies it well. Goes on so neat, that. And she applies that with a microfiber cloth, if anybody wants to know. And here he is. It's nice and warm now. Come to give you the kiss. I know I've stained in the gap there, but honestly, it won't really matter. The joints are that tight anyway. And since doing this video and doing the voiceover, I've had it made, and it's, you know, it's solid. The actual item's nice and solid. Just tap them nice and easy with my little mallet. That, when it dries, is absolutely going nowhere. Excess glue away. There you go. I'm really pleased with myself with that them joints. I'm just getting quite a bit of glue in there. You'll know the amount you need. Giving it a tapping hammer, or mallet, should I say. And as I'm going on, I'm just wiping all the excess off, because it you know, when it's all put together, it's just a bit fiddly to get into it to glue. Again, it goes together nicely with a tap. Just lining everything up, making sure everything's nice and neat looking. Again, I'm just going over it all, getting all the remnants of glue off, because this is the finish. I'm not going over it with anything. So what I do is just just lightly sand over everything. Just give it a bit of a sort of rusticy vibe to it, and it just sort of cleans it up a bit. This is what she wanted anyway, so I wonder what's next on the list. Just spend that 5 minutes just going over everything, making sure everything's right. Don't overdo it, but just making sure everything's looking right. Sorry about the mess in the background, but there you can see it is a plant stand. This is what she wanted. She's got a specific size plant pot in her house that she wants a stand for. Now, we've got the same size pot, so look, that I could use that anyway. So that's one of our plants in there. And you can turn that, it's reversible, so you could turn it on its head and use it the other way around. And you could put something at the bottom. It looks super nice, just them sort of like home decor pieces that's easy to do. Great project for beginners, easy sellable. You can sell these, no problem. Get them down at your craft fairs. And thanks for watching. And let's get on to the next video. Bye for now.